beautiful people. Welcome back to my channel. I guess you can call it a podcast. You guys, we're here to talk about Real Housewives of Atlanta. But before we do, I want to shout out my new subby, Omar. And y'all, Omar cute. But then again, all of you guys are. My beautiful people family, beautiful, for real. When they do show me and they do let me see a picture, everybody's beautiful. I love it. Welcome, Omar, and thank you for subscribing. If you have not already, please do subscribe. And if you do, go ahead and give yourself a shout out in the comments and say new subby so that I can shout you out in the next video. All right, let's get to it. Again, welcome Omar with your fine self. All right, so we start off with Kenya and Brooklyn. Brooklyn's eating and saying her days of the week. And as her mom is trying to get her to keep going, she's like, listen, I'm eating. We're done here. Then we have Drew, so nothing to see there. She's working out. She's talking to a couple of people who lost some things. She's talking to the real owner and saying we should have a party for, the people who actually lost some weight. And I think she only want to do it to prove to the girls that it does work. Then we have Sanya. She's at home talking to her sister. And Sanya got on my nerves this episode. Like, she was just shouting from the rooftop to anybody who would listen about the fact that she don't want another kid. And I'm like, girl, it's too much. Sanya is definitely trying to give it all up. She is just trying to give it all up so that she can come back. So she's talking to her sister, telling her sister she don't think she want another kid. And her sister's like, yeah, please don't. And I'm like, dang. Something interesting. Something interesting. Okay, I'm like, why didn't that sound right? Something interesting. It's not coming out right. Something interesting that she said is that she doesn't want another baby because she feels like she was doing it all alone and he wasn't a whole lot of help. Kind of the same thing that Rob Dixon, shout out to Alex, was saying. And I'm like, dang, that's sad. So this just kind of lets you know, and no, I'm not shitting on all married people, but it really does kind of let you know that even though you're married, you could still be a single parent or doing it the same way single parents do. And again, that's no slight to everybody because listen, my brother, he breaks his back. My brother's a good dad. And there's a lot of good fathers that step up and really help out. But it's just sad that, to hear that these people really don't want to do it again because they did not have any help. And I can totally understand that then if that's her stance on it. So it's like, dude, why do you want another kid? Or at least we know why he wanted another kid because he didn't have to do anything. All right, so then we have Sheree and Marlo meeting up with Candy at I was going to call it a bathhouse. It's not a bathhouse, like a sauna. And she walks in and she's like, they got on bathing suits and stuff. She looking at them like they crazy. I'm not taking off my clothes. I'm not finna do this. Why not? Like, we could still, at least you could put on a swimsuit and take pictures. She said no. You could tell when Candy walked in, she wasn't with the shits. She had already heard that they had been talking shit and she was over them immediately through the door. She was just like, nah, I got somewhere to go and I'm not finna nap up my hair, period. I'm not coming to sit there. I'm not coming to do that. I'm not doing it. And I wasn't mad at Candy because why do they even want to talk to her at this point? Y'all been shitted on her like crazy so many times this season so far already. These two. And now y'all want to still be friends with her? Like, why are we having this conversation? All right, y'all. So they sit down and they're in the sauna and she's sitting across from them in like the little shower area. And they want to go on and on with her about not being a friend. Sheree starts off with, oh, remember I used to come to your house to every event and everything. That's because you were invited. And what? Are you no longer invited? Like, y'all ain't really cool. And you guys, I watched an old episode. And or was it no, yeah, it was an old episode or reunion or something. And they did a flashback of the fact that, do y'all remember when, excuse me, that all the allegations came out against Candy and Todd and Portia and Phaedra did that whole thing. And then Kim made a comment about, yeah, she want me too or whatever. And she made it to Sheree. And so on the reunion, Candy was like, yeah, you never told me that she said that. And she was just like, oh, well, Yeah, Sheree is full of shit, you guys. And she's not a good friend to anybody. And I really feel sorry for Sheree because she absolutely always attaches herself to the wrong people. I am hoping and praying Marlo does not come back because I am not about her. It's way too much Marlo. It's Marlo overload. She was fine in doses. We could take her in doses. But this is too much. Even like last season was too much with the whole Big Frida thing and like she was just too much. And she still is. So excuse me. I just feel like Sheree attached herself to the wrong people each and every time. And for her to be the OG on here and you are following up behind Marlo like a flunky, terrible look. She looks terrible this season. Like she really does. But they're going on and on with Candy. And finally, Candy is just like, y'all, I give y'all what y'all give me. Like, why are y'all requiring more of me than what you giving? And she starts going off and everything. Marlo runs over and gives her a hug because she's crying. She's like, I'm frustrated. I'm frustrated. And I agree. I've watched some reviewers that said Candy is not used to the pressure, which is true. Candy is not used to people coming after her. And I will also agree that Candy has been messy for years. And I could not understand why she was always a fan favorite when Candy would definitely be messy and she would never really get called out on it. However, this season, she ain't really did too much. Like, they just coming after her to come after her. Again, because probably she's the OG. But, or at least that's Marlo's thing. But they come, Marlo is trying to tell her first before she even goes over there. Marlo's like, Candy, I am a foster child. And I'm just like, girl, I feel like Candy when she was just like, you are always using that. Listen, Marlo, you a grown ass woman now. That foster situation is done. Like it's over. You grown. When you are a grown adult, you are adult enough to see some things that may have happened and triggered you and messed you up as a child. If you are an aware grown adult, you can see some of these things and you could try to work on it. I feel like Marlo is not trying to work on Marlo. So she keeps deferring back to when she was a foster kid, and this has nothing to do with that. But she's so phony. She runs over there because Candy snaps off, and then she's crying because y'all know it only take a little bit for Candy to cry. But Marlo goes over, oh my God, hugging her. Get off me. Like, get off me. Seriously. We not cool like that. And Sheree comes over knowing good and well that's not something she would do. But because she's following up behind Marlo, she comes over, gives her a hug too. We all gotta work on it. We all gotta do better. Excuse me. Listen, the whole hug at the end and everything seems so phony. And if I was Candy, well, she only did it so that she can get the hell out of there. And I don't blame her. And she should just be done with them. Like, or at least, listen, they're co-workers. Other than that, done with them. All right, so we're back at Sanya's house, which I'm so bored of. Like, I'm so bored of Sanya. I really am. I'm so bored of her. I don't want, I won't say I don't want her to come back because she's fine. Like, she ain't did nothing that bad, even though she's super extra and putting 20 on 10 all the time. But I'm just bored of her. Like, all of her scenes at home seem extremely produced. Like, it always seems very put on. When her and her sister came into the kitchen earlier in the episode, they just so happened to come into the kitchen together at the same time. Last episode, when the whole family came downstairs and sat on the couch at the same time, so produced. Then she calls her mom in the kitchen, and her mom is like, yeah, what do you need? You need, a cheerleader? You need, no, I just need someone to, keep me company. And I'm like, yeah, she needs somebody to talk to and do this scene with, mom. Sit down. But Sonya's doing this whole thing where she's cooking salmon. She's not really a good cook. And she's talking to her mom again about this whole baby stuff or whatever. Then her badass son comes in and he's hitting her and he's like, I want my food now. And I'm like, yep, I would not want another one either. Just look at him. Look at your precious angel. Listen, and he's cute. I'm not even tripping. And he's going to grow up to be just fine. But right now, I can totally understand why she don't want no more. So yeah, she's cooking up this dinner for him so that she can try to convince him. And I just want to speed past this. They end up having dinner. She starts crying. It looks really for real, which is what she did the first time too that they talked about it. She cries every time she talks about it to him. And she asked if he would resent her, if she didn't want to have another baby. And he said he doesn't know, he can't really tell. And I'm just like, girl, you don't want another baby. It's your life. Don't have another freaking baby. He'll live, but I ain't got nothing to do with it. So listen. But yeah, so they have a cute little scene. She on a cute, I think it was a yellow dress or whatever. The food turned out fine, and that was that. So we're not going back to that. We're done with Sanya and her produced situations. All right, now we at Sheree's house. She's talking about all this fabric she has and everything. I'm sure you got a lot of fabric, ma'am, because you've been buying fabric for like 12 years or more. Like literally, she has been working on this forever. She has a new assistant, and she's talking to her about the stuff. And here's my thing: the shirt that she even has on right now, the one that says joggers with like the little scan code thing or whatever up under it. I would totally wear that. I would wear that, especially because it's a play on her whole thing. Sheree is just less than smart. She's just kind of stupid, y'all. That's just another way of saying she's a little stupid. But for her to have taken this long, everybody knows she by Sheree. I wonder if she has it trademarked. I wonder if she has, like, I'll go and make some she by Sheree for real. So her assistant tells her that, listen, I'm coming over there because I want to see this she by Sheree. And I said, we all do. And Sheree said, yeah, everybody knows about it. She just sound dumb. All right, so we get a moment with Marlo and her nephews, which I'm gonna speed past because zero shits. Like I don't care. I don't give a shit about Marlo and her life. She's making them clean and and I get it. I mean, I guess, but she's talking to them about their big sister. Apparently they have a 27-year-old big sister. I think 27, 28, something like that. But she said because of the age difference, they're not close at all. But she thinks that the sister's going to talk to the mom or whatever the case may be. She ends up telling the boys that maybe they all need counseling, and the little one says no. And I'm like, yes, yes, y'all probably all do need counseling. And that's kind of it for her scene. You guys, I watched a reviewer that said she just feels like, or he, I think it was a he feels like Marlo is exploiting her sister and nephews just for a storyline. And I have to agree. I just have to agree. Like this whole thing with them, and she's constantly filming with them. They look disinterested. We don't even know if her sister even knows that all her business is being put out in the street. We have no idea. And at this point, I guess she has no say so. It doesn't matter. But yeah, I just feel like Marlo, you already know. All right, so then we have Kenya, Manetta Shaw, and Candy meeting up to make candles. And y'all know who Manetta Shaw is. She's the one. She came to Kenya's birthday party, well, Brooklyn's birthday party. She is Neo's baby's mom, well, ex-wife actually. Did they ever get married? Yeah, they did get married. She's Neo's ex-wife, and y'all they talking. Everything's cool at first. Then Kenya and Candy get to arguing about these panties again and these vibrators again, and I'm just so over it. Okay, Kenya, she was wrong, and she just wants Candy to say she was wrong. Candy is not going to say she was wrong. She said she won't. And then Candy brings up the fact that Kenya at a table with her husband said that she could get it. Kenya's like, no, I didn't. So of course the producers showed that she did. Excuse me. And I'm like, why is Candy acting like that's a big deal? Why is she acting like that wasn't just something that they were talking about and it was casually said and nobody even thought twice about it? But she remembered it? I don't know. But she seemed like she was very irritated, and she's like, well, if I could take your joke, then you could take my joke or whatever. Okay, she didn't like the panties. Can we move on from the vibrator thing? But they're so loud in this place, and it's so funny because all these other ladies trying to act like they not listening. We know y'all listening. I'd have been sitting up there drinking my wine, looking dead at them. Well, what y'all talking about? And so Kenya is just saying the p word like over and over again, so loud, and I'm like, what is up with that? So then at the end of it, they say, listen, Candy says, listen, me and Kenya, we know how to fight, and then we're done with it. We're over it. So they're good. Well, I don't know. Are they still good right now, you guys? I don't know. But as of right now, Candy said that they are true friends that know how to fight and then get over it and move on. So just to end off that scene, they get their candles, and Candy tells Kenya to smell her candle, and she's like, yours smell good." And she's like, "Good, cause it's Candy's pee." And she's like, "What?" Which was funny. She was quick with it. That's pretty cool. Yeah, so now we're at Drew's event. Blah. And we have the ladies coming in. Everybody got to weigh themselves. Um, we have Sheree, Sanya. Who's the other person in the car with them? I can't remember. But Sanya is saying that she's glad that she wasn't uninvited. And she's in her confessional saying that she wants to get back to that nice place with Drew. And I'm like, where'd this come from? Why? Like the last we saw of you guys were fighting. Like she literally had to leave because you guys were being held back. And now all of a sudden you want to be cool with her again. You've done your research and you've prayed about it. And now you want to be cool with her again. Like she's not morally corrupt and always wrong. And you want to be cool with her. Like I'm just confused. I'm confused by the fact that again, I just really feel like Sonya was trying to let everybody know this ain't my girl. This ain't my bitch right here. Not really. We not really cool like that. So now that she's let all the other girls know they don't really get down like that, she could be fine with her again, which is pretty shitty. It is. But Sonya's all over the map, so we're gonna give her that. So yeah, in the car, it's Marlo. I should have known. Of course, if there's Sheree, there's Marlo. Marlo says, well, first off, Sonya's like, "Oh my God, there's Drew's sign," and Marlo says she went and got that shit printed off at FedEx, and they start dying laughing. So when they walk in, Sheree's like, "I think we're early," and Drew comes running over, talking about, "You guys are a little tardy." And then we have Candy and uh Mon Manetta. Yeah, Manetta. Manetta. Y'all know I'm terrible with names. Manetta. They're standing there, and Sheree, not Sheree, Marlo walks right past them, and Candy's like, and then she walks right past me. Yeah, I just wouldn't fool with these girls. Candy, just don't even worry about it. Y'all, when Sheree come over, Candy is like, "Oh my God, look at Sheree's ass," and she on these tights, and her butt did look good. I'm not gonna lie. And you guys, I'm obsessed with booties because I really want a big one. I would really, really like a big one, but she looks good in them. And of course, it's those kind that has a little line in the middle that really kind of accentuates everything. Candy's like, "Oh, Sheree, that's distracting." I'm like, "Ew, Candy, calm down." So then she pulls out her little mat, her little pink mat, and her water bottle, and she says how she's drinking from her. These are all prototypes. These are prototypes. And I'm like, of course they are. Let me tell y'all what Sheree be doing. Sheree go, and you know how you can get something just monogrammed specifically for you? Like, I can literally go on Amazon and get me a cup made that says She by Sheree. I can go get me a mat that says She by Sheree. Like, she ain't got shit ready. She's not ready. And look at how hype everybody is for her stuff. And she's still just not ready. And that's not motivation enough for you to get it done. All these people saying, "I want one. I would do this. I would support you. Let's get it going." Sheree, what a disappointment. Yeah, so then we have stupid Sanya pulling Ralph to the side while she's touching his shoulder and like kind of caressing his shoulder. She's kind of like her hand just ain't there. It's kind of cupping his muscles or whatever. And I'm like, "All right, Sanya, I ain't mad." But she's talking to him about the whole baby situation. I'm like, "Ralph? Ralph? Like, why are you talking to Ralph?" And that's what I said about her just talking to anybody that would listen about this shit. It's ridiculous. Why are you talking to Ralph? He is not level headed. He is not a smart guy. He, listen, I would not want his advice with anything. And I don't think she really does either. So why are you doing this? Why are you talking to Ralph? You don't even like his wife. I don't either. So I ain't mad at you. All right. So, um, Ralph ends up telling her that she should have more babies, basically. And I'm like, why are you asking people? Why are you listening to him? Then we go and we have Marlo coming to talk to Candy. And she's like, "Oh, you know me now?" And she's like, "I always talk to you. You talking to me now? I always talk to you." "No, you just walk right past me." And she's like, "Oh, I saw you out the corner of my eye." And I'm like, how does that make anything better? So Candy's like, yeah, I heard you had a lot to say about me, or y'all was talking to her and Sheree. And it's so funny because Manetta was standing next to Candy, shaking her head, yeah, like, yeah, I like that. I like that energy. And Candy just tells them, well, they say everybody was talking about her. Everybody had something to say. And Candy is just like, listen, we'll talk about this after. We're going to drop it with Drew and then we're going to address it. And I was like, you better bring it. You better bring it just like that. Yeah, so right as they're getting started, and what's her name? The girl named Jamaica or whatever. She lost 100 pounds. Yay. Good job dropping it with Drew. And she gets a trophy or whatever. Todd gets a phone call and he tells Candy, get your stuff, let's go. And they run out, and then everybody's like, oh my God, what's going on with Candy? I don't know. And of course, Sheree and Marlo, let's go be nosy. And I'm like, that's exactly what it is, because you're not concerned, you're just nosy. So they go out and find out that somebody jumped their gate, or a couple of their gates actually. And her friend, I think her name was Katrina, that's there watching the kids, asked him, do you know them? Like, what are you doing here? And he was like, yeah, I'm supposed to be talking to Candy. So she ends up calling the police. Candy says she don't know him. The lady took a video of him, and he's standing outside the gate saying that Beyonce told him to come talk to Candy, because he is Beyonce's cousin or something like that, but he's T.I.'s son. And I was just like, oh, he crazy, crazy. Yeah, he's the type that you really don't want to play with. So I was not mad at them for rushing home to see what was going on, and hopefully they got that under control, because he was touched for real, and that's not a joke. So back at the place, they do this little workout. It looks so stupid, you guys. And of course, Drew can't do it. And Sheree says, was it Sheree they call her a busted pack of biscuits or something? And it was just like hilarious. I'm sorry, I know it's mean, but it was funny. Because y'all know I don't like Drew. So it was funny. And then what did Marlo say? Marlo said, listen, I can't do push ups. I don't want to do all this workout. I just get lipo. Ain't that what Drew does? And y'all know why I think it's so funny. Because fuck Drew. So Kenya comes in late. She says she's not gonna work out. She's just gonna be a cheerleader. And then she runs over to the little meals, and they're like, "You came late, and you trying to eat? Ain't that what Drew did in the last episode?" So okay. Um, excuse me. Excuse me. I'm a lady. But we get the what's her name? Jackie comes over, and she's telling them, they're asking her a billion questions about the business, basically getting to the fact that Drew does not own this business. This business has been up and running for 5 years. It used to be called the 23 or 25 day workout plan or whatever it was. And Drew is just the face, basically. And then production shows where Drew is just kind of lying, like, we've been doing this for a long time. And the girls are drilling this lady. So Drew says, yeah, well, it's okay. The fact that, we haven't been doing it that long, or we're just getting it off, because a lot of people ain't even got it off the ground. Their stuff off the ground. Like, look at Sheree. She ain't even got She by Sheree. And I'm like, girl, did you really just do that? Like, did you really just do that? Okay, so when they start talking to Kenya, they're talking about the whole Candy situation, and Kenya says, listen, basically, she's like, listen, Candy is just not fucking with you. That's it. And Mayetta's like, hey, hold on. And Kenya's just like, yeah, after we talked about it and we talked about everything, she realizes all the things you don't do for her. And they kind of get into it. So in the confessional, Marla's like, Kenya's just always coming for me. She's just always mean to me. Like, she talks like she's very nice and everything, but then as soon as I turn around, she's stabbing me in the back. And I can't stand when Marlo plays victim. I swear to God, I can't. Like, I feel like something is off with her, because I feel like she believes the stuff that comes out of her mouth for real. She's ridiculous. And when they get into this argument, I'm not even going to repeat all the stuff she said, because it's stuff that she's been saying for years, number one. And it's stuff that just has no merit. Like, it's just stupid. Like, if y'all really, really think about it, Marlo don't be talking about nothing. She try to go for the jugular, but half the time it's stuff that she's been saying for years. And it's like, girl, so Kenya is just over it. So again, you guys, Marlo's talking about her fake booty. Who cares? She's talking about, let's talk about Mark. Who cares? You settle for a man who belittles you. And she's like, yeah, I sure did. And I have a beautiful daughter from that. So what? And she's like, where's your man, Marlo? I don't want a man. And she tells her that she can't keep a man. And I'm like, hold up. So why do you want to keep a man that belittles you? I don't know, like something's just not adding up. Marlo just be talking to hear herself talk. And the stuff she be saying, again, just don't make no sense. Talking about her booty and her man, like, girl, we don't care. We don't care anymore. So Kenya's telling her that she don't even know how to speak. Like, you need to learn how to speak and everything. And Marlo's coming up in her face. So Kenya has her hand out and she's just like, listen, get the fuck out my face. And she just keeps yelling, get the fuck out my face. And I'm like, yes, Kenya, you better give it up. Yeah, it's so funny. Kenya said, I am a perfect Barbie doll. I don't give a fuck. Like, I was dying laughing. Like, yes, you better own it. You better say you're perfect, even though you know you're not. It's fine. But compared to Marlo, she's fine. So, Marlo's just ridiculous, you guys. And then Kenya is just talking big shit about fucking her up on the way out. Y'all didn't see this part. Oh my God. They literally walking her out, like holding her back. And she has Sheree's, she talking mad shit, y'all. She has Sheree's thing, her mat on her back. And I'm like, Kenya was trying to take that mat. And Sheree said, no, no, no. But then we have Marlo yelling, bye fake booty. Again, what's she talking about? Like, we don't care. Y'all, Marlo then says that she's from the hood, but she don't talk about mothers. Production shows where she talked about Kenya's mom. She don't talk about kids. Production show where she talked about Marlo's kid or the fact that she was pregnant or whatever. And she don't talk about husbands. Of course, we know she talked about Mark. So I'm just like, she's a liar. It's so many liars on here. It's ridiculous. Then we have not Drew, Sanya talking to Drew. And I'm like, she's your new best friend. What is Sanya talking about, you guys? You already know. She's talking about this whole baby situation. And I'm just like, girl, we don't care. We don't care. Have a baby, don't have a baby. We don't care. And of course, Drew, just like her husband, says, listen, girl, you better give your husband what he wants. And I said, how'd that work out for you, Drew? Huh? How'd it work out? Because you gave your husband what he wanted. You said it. You gave him a baby. And he's still taking trips that you don't even know about. So yeah, she's like, or other than that, he's gonna resent you. And Sonya's like, okay, so what if I have a baby and then I resent him? Like she had a comeback for every answer, and I appreciated that. Yeah, like it's your life, but I feel like why are you going around talking to all these people about it? If you cry about it, I mean, she be crying hard about it too, like how much you really don't want to do it, then just don't do it. Like you obviously just really don't want to do it, so don't do it. There's nothing to talk about. He'll be fine, or either he won't. Like, it's fine. But it's so annoying how now they're her new best friends and she's over it. So I guess we'll see coming up, if she sticks to this whole Drew is fine with me and we're friends, or if she goes back to letting Drew know that she don't really fool with her. All right, and that is actually the end of the episode. Um, yeah, it was cool. It was a decent episode. So if you are still here, you are the real MVP. I appreciate you and I thank you very much. If you have not already, please consider subscribing. I would appreciate it. Thank you. Just like join the family. We would love to have you here. And again, if you are here, you are the real MVP. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And y'all know I already appreciate everybody who's already with me. I will see you guys in the next video. Smooches.